So some of you may know by now, we've listed our car up on Facebook Marketplace, and we've actually already got a buyer for it. They submitted their deposit the other day and should be picking up the car tomorrow. So we unfortunately are getting rid of this chassis, but I think it's going to be for the better. We do have another car lined up for us, so we're definitely not getting out of Legend Car right now. This is just going to be kind of a deal that was almost too good to pass, but we had to definitely get rid of this car before we ended up moving forward with the other car. So right now we're going to go through and pull everything that we're going to keep off of the car, like our seats, and start dismounting our tires over here, because we're able to actually keep them. He's taking the wheels, but we're able to keep the tires right there. Car is going to come with the set of Hoosiers that are currently on it, but you know, most of the car is going to stay put together pretty well for them, so that hopefully they'll just go out and race with it. But we are definitely keeping our seat. We're going to give them a secondary seat that we have sitting off to the side over here. We're not going to bolt it in for him yet, because they're going to go through a couple changes with the car before they even bring it out. But yeah, kind of sad to see our first car go, but I'm also excited to be put into a new car. I know it's pretty difficult to see. The seat in here is actually the seat that originally came with the car, and you can kind of see why we ended up going with a full containment when we did, because with this seat there's not a whole lot of room, and you really have to stretch out these little tabs down here on the frame to really fit the seat in there, or just cut them off and try and weld them a little bit wider. All we have left to do for ourselves is dismount these tires and get the wheels ready for them. Obviously they're going to get our spare set of carbs that are sitting right over here, spare gear sets, and whatever other 1250 pieces we may have, especially this spare motor, since the car that we're going to is actually going to be an FZ09 motor, so we won't need any of our 1250 gear anymore, which I know it sucks because we've put in a ton of work to get this one running right, and now that we're actually able to compete with everyone, it kind of seems like it's not the best thing to sell off this car and go with a Z09, but the deal was pretty good. And you know, we've said in many videos before, there's no double shear points on this chassis whatsoever. Didn't last very long on Marketplace. You know, within the first couple of days, we already had a couple people come out and look at it. So unfortunately, some of the people that came out were definitely over 6 feet tall and didn't necessarily fit, because we do have an original chassis that's not a big boy. Luckily, the chassis we're supposed to be going to is a big boy. So for those of you who don't know, this forward bar that's against the seat back right now, on a big boy chassis, it's just this bar right here to the rear. So for big boy chassis, they just completely get rid of that bar going all the way across and give you about 3 or 4 inches of layback extra compared to how these were originally built. Hopefully this car goes to a good home. I don't think the people buying this car will be racing it at CNS this year, but they definitely will be looking at running it for the next year. So we'll try and keep it as ready as I can for them. But yeah, there's not really much else to do.
Silhouettes of you are like a taunt. Never really know just what you want. With you I don't ever feel calm. I can feel the sweat inside my palms. Play with me like cats and a string. You don't understand the pain it brings. You don't ever wanna give me wings. You don't ever wanna set me free. You know I'm addicted to you, and it's twisted, you've been gifted with the evil voodoo. Got me coming back for more, even when I've been screwed. Dolls full of pins, pierce my heart straight through. I got issues in my head, I like you in my bed, but you keep me on red. Oh, everything is like a test, I better not text or I'll come off desperate.
But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, baby you'll get sick of being the monster out of my head, under my bed, thinking something out of my nightmares, standing right there. But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, then will you get
just like that, before we can even finish recording what we were doing to the car to prep it for the new owner, the car's out of our garage and is officially sold. So obviously it's a bit bittersweet for us. It was our first Legend car. We learned a lot with it and learned everything that can go wrong with a 1250 apparently. And we were able to finally figure it out in the end, and obviously had our drive shaft issue, which rendered us unable to complete that race. But we learned quite a bit with it, and I felt like we were able to get comfortable with the car in general, and felt like we were in a pretty good position to go ahead and sell it so we can purchase a new car. That video will be next week. We'll have a brand new car for us. It'll have the FZ motor, it'll be a big boy chassis, so we won't have to worry about trying to do those conversions and spend all the extra money for it when we could just buy one that's already set up for it. We did obviously keep a handful of the spares for ourselves, but we got rid of a lot with the car. Like, they ended up taking a set of wheels. We dismounted the tires for them. Obviously you saw that earlier, but they did take the Steelies for them, and obviously whatever tires were on the car. We still have our atrocious stack of Federals right there. All of our Chevy body panels we're gonna keep, obviously. We're gonna let him know that he ended up leaving behind a Ford hood for himself, but we obviously have 2 spare drive shafts. We've got a couple more spare things in the trailer right now, but our car's officially gone right now. It left us with quite a mess trying to get everything out from the garage, so got a little bit of cleaning up to do. But obviously we kept our seat here, all of our safety equipment, and all of our tools especially, so can't be too upset about the deal we made. Unfortunately, they did take the quick jack, but I think that those things are pretty easy to build out. But our next video definitely will have a new car. If we don't end up getting the car, then we're probably not gonna make a video for next week, but I'm pretty confident that we'll be able to have a car for next week. So it'll be up next Friday, so it'll be a good start to the weekend. The next time we'll be out with the Legend car is gonna be September 2nd. CNS is running a double header that weekend, September 2nd and 3rd. For both nights, it's gonna be $3,000 to win if you win the A main, $300 to win the B main, and then $150 to start. So it seems like a pretty good gig. Unfortunately, we're only gonna be there for Saturday, but we'll definitely be out there again. And realistically, regardless of having a car, we'll probably be out there just to watch. But we will hopefully have a car by then. Remember, next Friday, we will have a video out if we did purchase it. And yeah, car's gone officially, obviously, and not really much else to say. So with all that being said, I'll see you guys next week. I appreciate you guys watching. Hope to catch you in the next one.
And when you